connection of permaculture, regenerative agriculture, agroecology, and Qigong meditation or yoga, alchemy meditation. And there's a saying by a Qigong master that a farmer actually practices Qigong, whereas a philosopher just talks about it. And there, for example, there's a local young man who he has an acupuncture clinic, but he also does Qigong healings, like no touch healings with his hands. And he says, he doesn't just talk about it like other people. He actually does the work. And so anyway, of course, Qigong master Chunyi Lin, whom I took classes from or received energy healings from, he says his saying is the simplest is the most powerful, but his latest Qi talk, he emphasized that even though it's simple, it's not easy because it takes time. And so we're literally using time as energy when we meditate. And so how does this relate to permaculture and regenerational agriculture, which is a new catchphrase for actually storing carbon by farming cattle? And they do this by doing what's called intensive rotational grazing. And I was helping out for a few years on my school buddy's wife's farm, or he's a part of the, he builds all the infrastructure, but she owns the farm. And he and I, we both, when we met, he invited me to, he was living in a house with international students, and then we both got into Qigong meditation. And so one of the secrets of Qigong meditation is something I posted recently. And I'll repost this information, but you have to do intensive stress at first in order to achieve what's called parasympathetic rebound. And a Shaolin, there's a Shaolin teacher who teaches Qigong in the UK, but he moved from China, from Shaolin. And he says how most of the time Qigong taught in the West is just meditation, and you're just sitting there. And he says, but the way he was taught Qigong is that you have to first do intensive exercise to activate the energy. And so this was the problem I ran into. I didn't realize, I thought I had gotten to an advanced level, so I no longer had to do the standing active exercise. This is 20 years ago, when you're real young, you think, well, I'm just wasting my time because I'm just standing there. But ideally you want your thigh muscles or your thighs parallel to the ground when you're doing the horse stance. But obviously you really have to have your energy built up to achieve that that's what my own teacher trained at Shaolin. Also, he did that 2 hours a day, standing active exercise, the Chunyi Lin, with his thighs parallel to the ground. So how does it relate to farming, to agriculture? Well, they use the term cultivate, like they're cultivating the land, and the term dantian literally means field, as in farmers field. So when they use the term cultivate, ideally, in Indian yoga, the legs are the roots of the tree, and your brain is the roots of the tree, and your legs and arms are the branches. And so when you cultivate, you're actually feeding the brain as the roots of the plant in the soil. And this is turned around because we want to store the brain's energy as spirit or shen. We want to store that in the second brain, which is the small intestines. And the small intestines actually have more neurons than the heart. And so there's all this serotonin in the small intestines, and normally it can't be activated. It can't bypass the blood-brain barrier. And so what's required is to do the quick fire breathing, which actually is based on the speed of the breathing as much as the depth. And when you breathe really fast, then you're releasing carbon dioxide faster than your body produces carbon dioxide. So this is what Wim Hof teaches, is 2-mode breathing from Tibet, and originally from India. And so you have to do 30 really quick breaths, but also deep. And by doing that, then it changes the pH level of your blood. And your diver's reflex is based on the pH level. So by getting rid of lowering your carbon dioxide levels in your blood by breathing them out faster than your body produces CO2, then you hold your breath after exhale. That activates the vagus nerve, and then all the blood goes to your brain, because you can hold your breath longer because you don't have the carbon dioxide in your blood. And so the diver's reflex isn't activated, which is diver's reflex is when you're deep underwater and your brain forces you to take a breath. So then you do another cycle of 30 breaths that are deep, and you can also activate this just doing the standing exercises, because you end up activating your vagus nerve by standing with your knees bent, and that activates the parasympathetic nervous system to the lower body, the right side of the vagus nerve. And so then when you can't hold your breath any longer, then you start the cycle again and take 30 more breaths. So how this relates to farming is that normally cattle grazing is just you just let the cattle out, and then they over time they keep nibbling the grass, and they end up overgrazing it. But they do it cumulatively through small amounts of eating each time. And this is the same problem with modern civilization on an emotional level. We have stress all the time, but it's not an intensive stress. So we need that intensive stress to cause the parasympathetic rebound. And that's the same thing as what they call mob grazing, is you do intensive grazing in a small area. And then like a predator, you move in and the cattle won't run away to the new fresh grass in another paddock. And they get trained to do this, so they're waiting at the gate to flood into the new fresh grass because they want to eat that top fresh grass. And then they'll only eat it halfway down, and then they're ready to move on, or a third down even. And you can see this if somebody's doing intensive grazing, their grass is really high, whereas if